So when we came together, we strongly believed that you can only protect what you love. And you can only love something when you know enough about it. And that has become the premise for everything that we do at Heritage First Goa. Through the last year, we've had a walk on Panjim on a full moon. We've done a series of walks with walking with islands. And this is one of our signature festivals we do every single year. And it's bigger than last year. We have 41 walks and workshops. And I feel what's really interesting is there is something in there for everyone. You know, Heritage First Goa celebrates Goa's and natural heritage. So this covers a huge spectrum right from architecture to biodiversity to textiles to cultural heritage, and we have tried to cover every single category in our program this year. We have a walk and a workshop at a Kundi sari weaving workshop which is happening tomorrow. Then we have a lake trek to Bhekti. So a lot of people who are aware of Goa's beaches are not probably aware of the lake trek that's happening on Sunday. And similarly, we have a pottery workshop. We're doing something in Karanzali, which is a shore walk-in. And there's something for everyone, no matter if your interest is architecture, is it biodiversity, a plateau walk in Support, there's something for you to choose from. Each workshop has been designed to have limited spots so that we can respect the public space that we're in, and which is why we encourage everyone to book these slots early. We already have a few walks sold out, and we've got 3 of our 41 walks sold out. And this year we also had generous contributions from individuals and businesses who have adopted certain walks. And this goes a long way in helping us spread awareness and education around Goa's rich cultural and natural heritage. So with this, we declare our Walk Festival open. So Heritage First Festival 2025 is now open. And I invite all of you to join us. Please help us spread this in your communities. And we're looking forward to learning from this experience ourselves. And I look forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you. I would just like to invite, again, memories of Panjim is something that I'm also curious to hear about. And today we have with us Dr. Lourdes Rodriguez, who will share a bit about us and her own memories of Panjim. Please, if you can join us. Yeah, sure.
I'd like to invite our first speaker. I don't think I can say enough to do justice to the amount of work that she's done. Maria de Luz Bravo da Costa Rodriguez. She is a researcher, writer, mentor, librarian, and specialist in Indo-Portuguese and Goan history. She will be telling us about her experiences in and around Panjim and this very historic neighborhood that we're standing in. Maria?
Thank you, introduction. I would like to thank Heritage First for inviting me. And I thought that Gita has meant about centralized. But anyway, I will speak also a little bit on the Panjim city. I was born and brought up in the city, and I'm the third generation in the city also. And this is a new city for your information because the Nova Goa was a capital in the 19th century. So many things have happened after the 1832, and then where we are standing here is the plain city. So this city, this part of the city from the Panjim church down is a plain city, and it is called the Pombaling city. And it's called Pombaling city because it is on the same lines like the Lisbon city. It was rebuilt after the tsunami and by Marques de Pomba, who was the Prime Minister of São José. So at the same line, the architects now, Peter can see if you stand up at Alpine and look down, you find the parallels and perpendiculars, the same that you find in Lisbon. And you have the squares also, which we also have. And then they have the Tejo River and we have the Mangovian. So it was done. And we are one of my grandfather was one of the first migrants. We bought land here and built a house. So the land was, the city was planned in lots and squares, and they were auctioned. Land was auctioned. And whoever bought, my neighbors are there, Kamasan, Korka, D'Souza's and others, and we built our houses. So this is what was the planned city, not the smart city of today. That even to put a foot down, I have to look down where I'm going to put my foot, not to have a fall. Unfortunately, we have reached that stage, and I think most of you will agree to that. Now, I had, uh, I had a note here made, to read because I can go on, and I will not allow other speakers to say anything. So I said I will be concise. And I'll speak off Central Library and then I'll come into the other things around here. Okay? Now, it's close to my heart, the Central Library. Not just because I later worked there as a librarian for many years, but because my connection with the library goes back to my childhood. I started coming to the library when I was age 10. And I started reading books, comics, and children's magazines. In those days, the library was only a reference library. No books could be borrowed. But if the librarian knew you well, he sometimes allowed you to take a book home. For that, we had to bring a notebook that was kept in one of the drawers of his large desk. That little notebook recorded all our secret borrowing. When the library finally started lending books officially, I became a member for 15 years. Which year was it? In 1971. During my school and college days, the reading room became a meeting place for students who came to study and prepare for exams. It also became a meeting place for lovers, for the boyfriend and the girlfriend. They say, okay, we are meeting at this time, was quite convenient to come there, and in a sly way, just say that I've come. But sometimes the staff also will say, friends have come for you. So it was a place where we are experienced. I have also my experience. Anyway, there may be some people with that experience. But it was a nice place, very convenient, because it's a public place to walk in and walk out. When the library finally started lending books officially, besides the students and borrowers, many people visited just to read newspapers and magazines. Although the library had a limited budget, it still managed to offer quite a variety, and some came as complimentary copies. We had the Times, Newsweek, the London Times, and national papers like the Times of India, Indian Express, and the Hindu. In those days, Simba used to import, I believe from Bombay, the London Times. I remember many might have seen them taking the papers and segregating them. So people used to come to the London Times. I knew about one gentleman who had to leave Uganda. Yeah, Timbal bookshop. He was the agent, not Bate. Timbal was the main agent. Bate came later. So he came back one gentleman had to leave Uganda and come to Goa. So he used to come to read the London Times for shares. The man lost everything there, but the shares he had. So he used to come to see, what was the prices going up or coming down, whatever. And poor guy always used to come and to cry, I lost everything and all. We became friends also the case, there. Then we had magazines such as Industrial Weekly, Femina, and Filmfare, and many others also less known. The library soon became a center for activity of students and intellectuals who wanted to broaden their knowledge. And the library staff did their best to support them by acquiring all kinds of books. In fact, we had an excellent collection of law books, which the law college did not have at that point of time. So we catered for them. We catered for students from medical college. So we had books for them. Because again, in spite of the budget, but we used to cater for them. Actually, the library should be for the readers and not to house the book. Whatever you have is supposed to be used by the readers and for the readers. The reading room was large, with tables and chairs neatly arranged. All around were wall-to-wall cupboards, and among them an attractive gallery or mezzanine covering half the room. The cupboards and the gallery and the wooden columns supporting it were all made of thick wood, giving the hall a very elegant look. I don't know what's happened now. I went, but they say, I said, can I go in to see? No, but the whole thing was inbuilt, the cupboards. At one end of the room stood a big wooden platform where a staff member sat to keep an eye on everyone and make sure the readers behaved. This was especially helpful during exam time. The libraries would get cool, everybody, would fight for a place, people would keep the books and mark the place for their friend or boyfriend or girlfriend, to come and sit. To be honest, we were a bit scared of them, especially one scout gentleman named Kashti. Remember Kashti? He was from Mesa, fat and he would always impose his figure on us and say, no, you can't do this, you don't do that. And things were different then. Students respected elders much more than they do today. Now let me talk a little bit about the library building itself. As you know, the library began in 1817 inside the military school. So we are here and we have the square right opposite us, the military barracks. So in 1834 it became public library. The big building you see today, the one now used by the police department and other government offices, was built during the tenure of Manial Tugavikar to house military barracks. It was the largest state-owned building in Nova Scotia. The library was located there along with the military service. It is to be noted that the library was started as a part of the military academy to serve the students, because later in 1832 it was elevated to a public library. In 1854, we had the Liceo Central in Nova Scotia. The secondary school was started in the right wing of the school, where we are there at the central library. That was the library. The library was later shifted there when the school moved to another beautiful building on Monroe Company campus of the big town. The Super Grammar was established in 1871 by the Portuguese intellectual Tomás António Ribeiro Ferreira, better known as Tomás Ribeiro. It was an academic institution and contributed greatly to what was one of the most intellectually active period in the world. The second half of the 19th century, unfortunately, the institute functioned only until 1875, and after a gap of 50 years, it was revived in 1925, and the library was placed under the direct care. The tiles and hinges of the student library, which was formerly Institute Vashtrama, were installed in 1935 and painted in Lisbon by George Glasser. They were shipped to Goa and put in place in 1936. These panels illustrate stanzas of the Portuguese epic Lusíadas, written by the poet Luís de Camões, who lived in Goa for many years. Incidentally, Portugal is celebrating the 500th anniversary of his birth this year. And Camões had how many? 500 years, I don't know, at least some 5, 6. So every time we had to cut a cake when a speaker is to come, at least 5 they must have had. Anyway, this is a lighter way. And to speak about Panjim city, as I said, my grandfather was the first to migrate. He passed out from his colonel as a male nurse and worked as a male nurse here. He was a military man also. Then my father also passed out from his colonel as a male nurse. My brother improved himself by passing out as a doctor and his colonel. And we remain in the city. So their profession of my parents and my grandfather was something to do with the city people. Since they were nurses, they had their own clients. That Rita knows the family very well. She's the only one who was not born. My mother didn't have the delivery. Otherwise, all the other detainees were born with my mother. So, and she was attached to Goa Medical College. So this square and this area is, I mean, the entire city is very, very close to us. And from this, what you call this area as Fred Japon. The name of the property was Fred Japon. So from the church downwards, we knew almost everyone. We know some people over in Fontaine, but in those days going to Fontaine was like going to Margaon. So, but now of course we are in and out, and my parents were disciples. I don't know what my grandfather did, but he was well known, my grandfather, who give treatment for venereal disease. Yes, and it was down the author, what is called February. I read this in his obituary. That was well known. My mother, of course, everybody knows how she was. More than half of the city born with her. And my father also had his practice. So it gives an opportunity to know the people. Some days I have time, God given time, I will write about the people of it. You know, the soul of it. What is Panjim so special. Yeah, you have to know, you have to come together. Because my generation is now moving out. So we move out completely, we have to start writing. If you don't, then we are going to lose it. Even today I was reading and I learned something when I was reading the paper, which I was not aware. So you always learning. It's nothing that I know everything and the other person doesn't. All of us are learning. It's a question of learning. And Panjim can be a good example because it is a new city. It's not very good. So I think if you have questions, I'll answer. Am I allowed to? Yeah. You come closer. Sorry? Yeah, the whole, there are one mosquito, red mosquito, red, the other side. Yeah, this is Japan. Another thing I forgot was the names given to the road. They're not of persons or complement or something like that. So this road, it was originally Rua Dalagi, that is of happiness. So I'm always smiling and laughing. Then it became Malacca Road. And then Kishonagar, because he died in YG hospital, it was functioning like Kanyo Stand. He died there, it became Kishonagar. And this square where we are standing is known as Prasa the Steps Channel. Okay? Because of the windows. And that is just put the statue of a if I go like that, I never end. Very eco-friendly. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Luke, for sharing so much with us. Next, I would like to invite Sandesh Prabhudesai as our second speaker. He is a journalist, writer, and has been the head of editing at many institutions like Goa 365, Prudent, Suna Prant, chief reporter of Gomantak Times, and the Goa correspondent for BBC since the year 2000. He has also been involved very closely with many movements as part of the Goa Union of Journalists and student movements. He is also an author of several books and is involved in many cultural institutions working around plays and other activities. Welcome, Sandesh.
नमस्कार. पयली गजाल क्लॅरिफाय करता हांव गोंयकार फॉरेनर न्ही. म्हणटकीर फॉरेनर कित्याक आपयला हांगा हेरिटेजाचेर गोंयचे हेरिटेजाचेर उलोवपाक. दुसरी गजाल परमीट मी देन नॉर्मली इम्प्रेशन मारपा खातीर फॉरेन लँग्वेजीक उलयतात स्टायल आसता. सो गोंया भितर कोंकणी फॉरेन जाल्या सो हांव मातशी स्टायल मारपाक कोंकणींतल्यान उलयल्यार कळटलें सगळ्यांक. समजता न्ही सगळ्यांक एक्सेप्ट दोज पीपल दॅट्स ओके. म्हाका दिसता की हेरिटेज म्हणजे दायज आनी आमी एक्सप्रेस करतात ते बेजिकली उलोवन एक्सप्रेस करतात. सो थंय पयली येता ती हेरिटेज भाशेची. लायक लेट मी जस्ट टेक लिबर्टी विथ अ रिक्वेस्ट बिकॉज मी इतलो सुंदर प्रोग्राम प्लॅन केला स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम टुडे, बट आय थिंक टील डिसेंबर 7 जो प्रोग्राम प्लॅन केला तो प्रोग्राम पळोवनूच दोळे भरले सामके. वाव, वॉट अ प्रोग्राम, इतलो सुंदर केला. फक्त जंय जंय प्रोग्राम करतात थंय आय वूड जस्ट रिक्वेस्ट दॅट हेरिटेज भाशे कडल्यान सुरू जाता. हे अशेच आसचे बॅनर, एक ह्या वटच्यान इंग्लिशीन आसचो, एक कोंकणीन आसचो, जाल्यार हेरिटेज मुखार व्हरतना आमची भाशाय बी आसा हेंय बी सगळ्यांक लक्षांत येतलें. म्हाका कॅफे प्रकाशाचेर उलय म्हणून घाल. ताचे पयलीं एक बारीक एक याद जाली. हांगा येतकर उबो राविल्लो तेन्ना एक एनेक्डोट याद जालो. खूब गजाली प्लॅन केल्यात आनी आयच्या भुरग्यांक लायक टुडेज जनरेशन डजंट नो सो मेनी थिंग्स स्पेशली इन दी सिटीज. दीस वॉज समवेअर in maybe in 90s or late 90s or early 2000 तेन्ना केन्ना तरी. हांव काणकोणचो. आय कम फ्रॉम काणकोण एंड दी बॉर्डर विलेज. ताच्या आयलँड जी आसा ती पैंगीण विलेज. आमचे कांय फ्रेंड्स पणजेचे दे हॅड कम देर जस्ट टू स्पेंड ओवरनायट आनी सांजचे दनपार केन्ना तरी आयले. दे कम टू पर्तगाळी. पर्तगाळ आयले आनी ते थंय ती दनपारां आयले. नेक्स्ट डे ऑन संडे मी एंड आय रिमेंबर प्रसाद लोलयेकर हू इज दी सेक्रेटरी एज्युकेशन नाव, दोगी जाण आमची फ्रेंड्स, वी वेंट टू मीट देम. ते गेले आनी मागीर कितें केलें कालच्यान? सी वी हॅड लॉट ऑफ फन. आय सेड या, वॉट यू डीड? नो, फर्स्ट वी वेंट इन दी फॉरेस्ट फॉर अ वॉक, फॉर अ हायक, एंड देन देर वॉज थिंग फ्लोईंग, एक व्हाळ व्हांवतालो. सो त्या व्हाळा भितर आमी वी डीड फिशींग एंड देन वी डीड स्विमींग. आनी ताजे नंतर मागीर आमी वी हॅड अ बॉन फायर एट नायट. आनी हांव आनी प्रसाद एकमेकांक पळोवन हांसपा लागले. ही सेड वॉट हॅपन? आय सेड आमकां हें कांय कळना. आमकां एकूच खबर आहा की काजूचे दीस आयले, काजू, आंबे नाल्यार चुन्ना, चारां आनी कितें तें आसतात. रानां वचपाचें, रान माड्डीत वचपाचें, काजू काडल्यो आनी कितें काडलें, चुन्न काडली, चारां काडली, कर्ण काडली आनी कितें काडली. आमकां खंय खबर आहा ताका हायक म्हणटा. ओके. मागीर मातसो टायम आसलो जाल्यार ह्या दिसांनी नुस्तें बरें पडलें मेळटा रे, पळोवया रे अशें म्हणून गरी घाले बसले. ओके, लांबारी मारली नाल्यार गरी मारली. आमकां खंय खबर आहा ताका फिशींग म्हणटा. ओके. ताजे नंतर मागीर म्हणलें ओके चड गरमी जाताले, गरमी जाता चल खेळे बिळे मातशें कितें गरमी जाली, काडले कपडे मारली उडी उदकान. आमकां खंय खबर ताका स्विमींग म्हणटा. ओके. आनी रातीन मागीर अशें ह्या दिसांनी थंडेचे दीस आसतात त्या दिसांनी मातशें कुडकुडू जर खाता जाल्यार पोल्ली पेटयली आनी बसले धगाक. आमकांय खबर आहा ताका बॉन फायर म्हणटात. ओके. सो दीस इज आवर विलेज लायफ जे अनफॉर्च्युनेटली आज सिटींतल्या लोकां खातीर हेरिटेज जालें. पांडुरंग आसा हांगा. तेच लायफ जगल्यात, आमी तेच लायफ जगल्यात. शैलेंद्र मेहता आसा जो म्हाड्डोळा भितर मडकय भितर त्या एरिये भितर हेंच लायफ जगला, सगळें जगल्यात. अनफॉर्च्युनेटली इट हॅज बिकम अ हेरिटेज. आय एम रियली कॉंग्रॅच्युलेटिंग दी ग्रूप फॉर दीस की भुरग्यांक ह्यो गजाली इंट्रोड्यूस करतात आनी करून दितात. आनी दुसरी गजाल अशी आहा की लेट मी जस्ट कम बॅक टू कॅफे प्रकाश आनी मागीर हें करता. हांव आतांय बी स्कूटर घेवन आयलो. हांगा गाडी पार्क करपाक मेळना. स्कूटर घेवन आयलो पूण संवयेन थंय कॅफे प्रकाशा कडेनूच पार्क केली गाडी, स्कूटर. इट हॅज बिकम अ हॅबीट. हांगा आयली की गाडी पार्क थंय करपाची. आय थिंक इट वॉज लास्ट 2022 एसेंब्ली इलेक्शन. हांव सदां भशेन भाटे कडेन वर्षा बूक स्टॉला कडेन उबो आशिल्लो आनी हांगा कितें काँग्रेसीची मिटींग आशिल्ली. सो ती काँग्रेसीची मिटींग जावन दॅट ऑब्जर्वर वॉज देर, दिनेश गुंडूराव. सो तो असो वतालो म्हाका थंय मेळ्ळो. हांव म्हणलें वेट दिनेश, आय टेल यू समथींग अबावट दीस प्लेस. दिस इज अ very historic place. He said, yeah? I said, yeah. He said, this is Varsha bookstore. People used to come here from all over Goa also. Okay, Miguel Bab knows it very well. आयले, पेपर घेतले, मॅगझिन्स घेतली, कितें तरी पळयलें आनी मागीर अरे बाबा कितें न्यूज पळयली, माय गॉड समथींग शूड बी डन अबाउट दीस. ओके, सो कितें तो दुसरो आयलो तिसरो आयलो तांणी सगळ्यांनी उलयलें एकमेकां कडेन, हय हय समथींग शूड बी डन अबाउट दीस. कितें करया, ना आमी एक काम करया. गेले कॅफे प्रकाशान बसले, बसून कितें करपाचें तें डिस्कस केलें. डिस्कस करून दी फर्स्ट मिटींग वीच वॉज कॉल्ड, ऑल गोवा कोण कोण आसा तांकां कॉन्टॅक्ट करून वॉज इन टी.बी. कुन्नाक. वयर गेले, टी.बी. कुन्नाक बसले, टी.बी. कुन्नाक मिटींग आपयली. मिटींग आपोवन प्लॅन केलें की वी वील हॅव अ गोवा वायड कॅम्पेन ऑन दीस. आनी फूल गोवा वायड कॅम्पेन करून तातूंतल्यान मागीर अल्टिमेटली इट कल्मिनेट्स इन टू अ ह्यूज रॅली एट दीस आझाद मैदान. दॅट इज दी मॅजीक ऑफ दीस प्लेस. आनी तातूंत भितर कॅफे प्रकाश जो आसा, कॅफे प्रकाश प्लेज a very vital role. We had a press room. I'm a journalist. थंय सेक्रेटरिएटा कडेन थंय ओल्ड सेक्रेटरिएट जे पालास आसा थंय पयलीं प्रेस रूम आशिल्लो. So once it was shifted there, we had no press room. So the journalists created a press room in Cafe Prakash. So much so की सगळी जर्नलिस्ट जे तुगेले चुकिल्ली म्हणजे शेणिल्लीं गोरवां करमळेच्या तळ्यांत म्हणटा पळय आमी, तशे तरेन सगळे जे जर्नलिस्ट आशिल्ले ते सगळे हांगाच येताले. इतले की मागीर आमच्या जर्नलिस्टान थंय बोर्ड बसून लायलो एक बॅनर करून, ओके, जर्नलिस्ट क्लब सो ऑल जर्नलिस्ट इज टू कम देट. आनी थंय बसप आनी जर्नलिस्टां कडेन खंय पयशे आसता म्हणपाक, ओके, एक च्या घेवन नाल्यार म्हजी भाजी खावन आनी ही इज टू अलाव दॅट. ही ऑलवेज अलावड इट. सो कॅफे प्रकाश वॉज सच अ प्लेस वेर आय कॅनॉट फॉरगेट वन इन्सिडेंट. प्रकाश बाब खंय गेलो, we had come here and rokodo yeta म्हणून गेलो. Okay, I remember it was somewhere in 1988-89. आमचो Speaker of Goa Assembly was accused of trying to molest a girl, and he was habitual about these things. So तातूंतल्यान हांगाच ह्याच आझाद मैदानाचेर meeting जाली. त्या मिटिंगे भितर लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन सेड दॅट वन VVIP इज इन्वॉल्ड इन दीस आनी येता तें. आनी ताजे नंतर मागीर ते तातूंतल्यान खूब मोठें एजिटेशन उबें रावलें, हिस्टॉरीक एजिटेशन. आनी त्या एजिटेशना भितर 3 people, माय वायफ प्रशांती तरपणकार, शी डिक्लेअर्ड दॅट शी वील सिट ऑन अ हंगर स्ट्रायक, ओके, टील ही रिजायन्स. सो हांगा येवन बसले. 2 more people joined, one freedom fighter, old freedom fighter, and one young girl, Vasanti Pacha. 3 जाण आमी फ्रीडम आमी जस्ट प्लॅन केलें. फ्रीडम फायटर्स वर विथ अस. सो आमी थंय गेले, हें केलें आनी हांगा येवन हंगर स्ट्रायक सुरू जालो. इट बिकेम अ बीग न्यूज. दॅट इज ओके, बिकेम अ बीग न्यूज आनी कितें सगळी हेडलायन्स आनी येता सगळें मागीर एजिटेशन स्टार्ट जालें. बट मेन म्हणजे आतां ती हांगा बसल्यात हंगर स्ट्रायकार. आतां सकाळ फुडें उठ्ठकर आनी उदक म्हणजे बेश्टी हें पिताले, उदक पिताले आनी कांय ना. ब्रश तरी करपाक जाय. यू हॅव टू डू युअर अदर थिंग्स. बाकीची सकाळची सगळी टॉयलेट आनी हे सगळ्यो गजाली आसतात. The whole Goa was thinking what will happen to this agitation, but there was one man who was thinking what will happen to them. Next day morning, Prakash Babu was here. Morning, early morning. आयच्यान तुमी ताजे थंय लॉज आसा, लॉज पयर कोसळ्ळे. त्या लॉजा भितर तुमी थंय येवपाचें, यूज दी टॉयलेट, यूज दी बाथरूम. उदक गरम करून दवरतालो त्या जाणटेल्या खातीर. आनी जाले 2 दीस जाले, 3 दीस जाले. 3 दिसां नंतर ती जाम पडली. जाम पडटकर there was again Prakash Babu came. तुम्ही अशें हांगा जमनीचेर न्हिदनाकात. ओके, he brought 3 beds from his lodge here, and on those 3 beds they were sleeping. So just imagine what kind of person Prakash Babu is. He is still here. अजून तो आसा थंय, हांगच्यान वतना एक गजाल करात, ताका मेळूंक वचात सामकें. आतां कॅफे प्रकाश बंद पडलें. म्हणजे हांवें आर्टिकलूय बरयलें ताजेर जेन्ना गेले तेन्ना वॉट वॉज कॅफे प्रकाश खंय तरी उगडून दिवं. इट्स देर ऑन इंटरनेट ऑन माय वेबसायट goanews.com. इट्स देर. फक्त रेकॉर्डा खातीर उरून म्हणून हांवें तो फोटो बिटो सगळो घालून दवरलो. बट दॅट वॉज कॅफे प्रकाश. सो कॅफे प्रकाशाची खूब काणी सांगपाक शकता आमी मेळता आसा वी वर्क टुगेदर बट चड वेळ हांव घेना वता एकूच गजाल सांगता माय फ्रेंड प्रवीण सबनीस इज हियर वन्स आय वॉज हॅविंग अ टीव्ही डिबेट आणि टीव्ही डिबेटाक तो पावलो ना बट डिबेट वॉज ऑन हेरिटेज ओके हेरिटेजाचेर डिबेट आशिल्ली सो प्रवीण वॉज नॉट अवेलेबल दॅट टायम बट तो वतना म्हाका एक गजाल सांगून गेलो आय डोंट नो वेदर यू रिमेंबर इट ओके दॅट संदेश एक गजाल लक्षांत दवर heritage is not only to a thing which has to be preserved. Heritage also has to be created. Because somebody has created it, we see it today and we preserve it. So heritage गजाल म्हज्याय तकले भितर उरली की heritage has to be created like Charles Correa created Kala Academy which everybody opposed saying that it is a heritage building. Recently it was done in 70s. So our responsibility is just not to heritage पयलींची आनी ते कोंकणी भासूय बी कोण तरी क्रिएट केल्ली आमी प्रिजर्व करतात ह्यो सगळ्यो गजाली जाल्योच सो वता एक गजाल सांगता दॅट दीस थॉट वॉज देर इन माय मायंड वेन आय रिटायर्ड फ्रॉम डे टू जर्नलिझम आमच्या घरा कडेन माय पेरंट्स वेर फ्रिडम फायटर्स अँड दे वेर ऑल्सो आर्टिस्ट आमचें घर आसा थंय मातयेचेंच आसा घर आनी कुळागर आसा सगळें आनी आमी केन्ना पिकनिकेक बी कोणाक घेवन वताले सो दे यूज टू लायक दी प्लेस व्हेरी मच सो ते खूब जाण म्हणटाले की तुमी हो एक बरो टुरिस्ट स्पॉट कसो कित्याक डेवलप करना बट समथींग आय हॅड इन माय मायंड वॉट प्रवीण हॅड टोल्ड दॅट यू हॅव टू क्रिएट हेरिटेज वीच इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट सो आमी सगळी फॅमिली बसली आमी थंय कोण रावनात आनी माय फादर्स नेम was Manohar, my mother's name was Shobha. So we have created a cultural center in our village which is called Manu Shobha Kala Ghar. And there we are, ती हेरिटेज म्हणून एक सांबाळून दवरतनाच तातूंत कल्चरल आनी कितें सगळे अशे तरेचे प्रोग्राम्स आमी करतात सगळे वेगळे कुळागर आमी तर व्हडली स्टेज उबारल्या देन मुखार आमचे माटो घालतात तो माटो हा तो सगळो टायल्स बी घालून सारको तसो हे केल्लो आसा सो इट रिमेन्स एज अ पर्मनंट स्ट्रक्चर ओपन स्ट्रक्चर आनी थंय आमी प्रोग्राम्स वेगवेगळे करतात आय वूड रिक्वेस्ट आय टोल्ड गेता वन्स दॅट प्लीज विजीट आनी थंयच्यान तुमकां मागीर वॉक करपा आयल्यार वयर आमचें भगवतीचें देवूळ आसा थंय भगवतीच्या देवळा कडेन वयर वचप आनी तो पळोवप हो एक हेच आसता म्हणजे अजुनूय आमची भुरगीं जेन्ना गांवां वतात तेन्ना दी फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन दे आस्क आमी भगवती देवळा कडेन वतली काय ना यू टू वॉक दोंगर चडून वयर वचचें पडटा बट दे जस्ट लव इट स्पेशली पावसा भितर तर भरपूर नागडो बेताळ आसा जो आनी खंय गोंयांत तुमकां मेळना पळोवपाक तो आसा आनी खुबश्यो गजाली आसात हेरिटेज हळू हळू करून बिल्ड जाता आनी ती बिल्ड म्हाका दिसता की ह्या ग्रुपान सगळ्यांनी दे शूड नॉट ओन्ली वॉक बट वॉक दी टॉक इज ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टंट उलयता तें करप हेंय बी म्हत्वाचें त्या हातूंतल्यान तुमच्या ह्या सगळ्या डिसेंबरा पर्यंतच्या प्रोग्रामांतल्यान हो वॉक दी टॉक जावं दी आनी तुमकां हेरिटेज क्रिएट करपाचें इन्स्पिरेशन मेळूं दी इतलेंच मागता जय गोंय जय हिंद